Welcome. Welcome back to this week's YouTube Live. My name's RD. Welcome to the Waterfowl Den. Hopefully everybody's having a good Wednesday. We got a special guest in the room tonight. We got Preston from before we get to him, I do want to give an update on the weather. So while everybody's jumping in, but I want to say welcome Preston from Blackwater Trapping Company. Welcome to the show. First time on the channel. But before we get started, I do want to say, hey, our prayers and thoughts are still with the people dealing with this hurricane. Jamaica, Cuba, and all these little teeny islands out here now that's just getting hammered. Our thoughts and prayers are with y'all for sure. And there's a little peak over here in Florida that's getting a little weather. And man, if you on the East Coast, we're over here in South Carolina and Kentucky, boy, we're fixing to get some weather and some rain, and it is surely needed. So that's the weather for tonight. So let's get back to our guests here. So Preston, welcome to the channel, sir.
Hey, bud, thank you.
You having a good Wednesday so far?
Oh, yeah, just a wet one.
Yeah, man, it hasn't rained at my house in like a month. Like, the fish knocked on my front door and asked could I put some water in the pond. That's how dry it was.
Well, it's been raining here for 4 days. I'm basically working in swimmies.
Oh man, that's tough. So tonight we are going to be talking trapping, and typically the guests that I have on, I usually know some type of background on whatever I'm talking about. But tonight I am going in blind like half the people that's going to watch this live, because I know absolutely nothing about trapping. Like, I know that there's a reason for trapping. I know reasons 10, 15, 20 years ago when people were trapping for furs. I know times have changed. But I want to know tonight who you are. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about trapping. Like, why do we still need it? As a turkey hunter, I am greatly appreciate the people that trap. What's it cost to get into it? Like, what do we need? And then what are you offering as a company, all in the great state of South Carolina? So let's start off with, where are you out of?
So we are out of Swansea, South Carolina. We're about 45 minutes east of Aiken and about 30 minutes south of Columbia.
Yeah, that's a little teeny small community. A lot of people might know it when they're going out of Columbia, going towards Charleston. You see the sign.
That's right.
So,
Yep.
tell us about Blackwater Trapping Company. So, if anybody don't know it, is blackwatertrapping.com also.
So I have owned a nuisance wildlife business for the past 4 years. Um, and I grew to love this trapping. It was a hobby for a lot of years, and in the past 3 or 4 years, I've tried to turn it into a business. Um, while turning that into a business, we decided that we were feeling kind of led to have a supply store, which is where Blackwater Trapping Supply come in. There's really nowhere uh, in the state of South Carolina to get supplies that you need. There are a lot of trappers in the South, and those guys are having to order everything. So we were trying to fill a void that needed to be filled here in South Carolina.
So, we met maybe 4 weeks ago at the Summerton Duck Festival. I went for a duck show, and when I get there, there's a lot more people there than this year, and they were having a South Carolina Trappers Association meeting. For one, I didn't even know we had a Trappers Association in South Carolina. And,
Yeah,
and not
so
and not only they were doing live events and stuff, so I learned a lot that day.
That's right. Yeah. So every state has a trappers association. And I urge you, whether you're a trapper or not, to join your association. The love of hunting, whether you're duck hunting, whether you're deer hunting, turkey hunting, quail hunting, all of that game has to be, you have to manage the predators that like to take out that game. For the duck fest people, for the duck clubs, a lot of that is raccoons, possum, some fox, coyotes, and if all those clubs individually manage a lot of their nest raiders and their predators. Some of them do pay trappers to come out, commercial trappers. But all of that, all that game that you like to hunt, relies on a trapper managing the predator so that we have it. So the big thing with joining your trappers association is when our president and vice president of our association go to bat to keep trapping legal and available to everybody, because that is not a right, it's a privilege.
Right.
We don't That's not something that it can be taken at any time. So for every name that's on that list, it is a voice for those guys to say, hey, here's a sheet of paper, all these names right here. All these guys support our association. They support trapping. They understand the management of nest raiders. They understand the management of predators. So I urge everybody to go out and join your association, because it does help with what you're wanting to do for your hunting, your duck hunting, your turkey hunting, etc.
So a while, many years back, trapping was a big thing for furs and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure I've heard the prices of furs is not like it used to be. So we're going to look at it in the side of helping, like you said, the ducks, the turkeys, especially the turkeys, because the first 4 weeks that a turkey is on the ground, it is prime meat for a lot of predators.
That's right.
Much less the eggs. I mean, when the hen's off, there's a lot of things that get the eggs, but once a turkey is cracked open, legs on the ground, it is literally being chased for its life for 4 weeks
Yeah.
until it gets its feathers to, that it can fly. But me personally, I thank the trappers for that, because as a turkey hunter over the past 3-4 years, we have seen our turkey numbers go down tremendously. And you talked about it earlier, the quail. Man, when I was a kid, we always saw them. These days, hey, you lucky to even hear them. So,
Yeah. It's
I,
everything likes quail. Quail is the turkey of the wild. Everything likes quail. You would be surprised uh, the things that eat quail. Uh, for instance, baby quail. A lot of them get consumed by bullfrogs.
really,
Yeah, it's wild. The you spoke about the fur market. There was a pretty good fur boom. Of course, I'm not old enough to have participated in the fur boom, but aside of just predation trapping for the management of wildlife, uh, in the state of South Carolina, during our commercial trapping season, which is December the 1st to January the 1st, you can sell your coyotes and your foxes alive
really.
to fox pens, which is a big sport in the South, which is running foxhounds. And a lot of people, they have these really big enclosures, and you can sell those coyotes to those pens, and they train puppies and train dogs to run those animals. And it's a big, big sport, but it's another way to make a little bit of money while trapping. It's not a crazy amount, but it's a little bit.
Where do you think in the state most of the trapping's being done? Like, where would you got customers calling in? Where do you think the biggest population in South Carolina?
So most of the trapping is being done on the coast or toward the coast, and there's a lot of key factors there. A lot of our quail plantations are
Mm,
toward the coast. You also have the Sea Turtle Foundation, which a lot of people don't think about, but the coyotes and coons bust a lot
really?
of sea turtle nests and consume them. So
I
there are
I wouldn't
trappers.
I would have never thought that.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I mean,
So when
I
they
could see the egg. I mean, that
yeah,
makes sense, but I would have never put the two and two together.
yep. So it's a lot toward the coast. Um, and then the further inland you come, there's a lot of beaver trapping.
Mm.
Beavers cause a lot of damage. They're, again, like everything else, you have to manage your wildlife. One or two beavers isn't a problem, 10 or 12 is. You can't have overpopulation, just like, the big disease in deer right now out west. The more animals you have, the more disease comes in. Mange and coyotes and foxes, distemper and rabies and raccoons, etc.
So, and you might not know the answer to this at all. Does the state itself do anything uh, to help hunters on game, or is it just game management areas that they might do something like that?
So there are USDA federal trappers that trap throughout the states for a lot of stuff. But if you want somebody to trap for your quail plantation or coyotes on your turkey lease or whatever the case may be, you basically hire a trapper
So
to
do we
come.
have? I know you said you started a business doing that. How many people you think do that in the state?
Um, there are
Just
a decent
roughly.
amount of people. There's a decent amount of people that do it, but getting the people that are reputable, I would say there's a good dozen or so. Maybe there's probably a few more, but there's a good dozen out there that do a good job. That are do what they say they're going to do, and they're good at catching animals and managing the predation.
That's pretty cool. I never knew that either, and I didn't think about all the plantations that would be in the lower part of the state. That obviously I'm more of a what you call the poor man of hunting myself. Public land kind of guy. But when we go to the coast to duck hunt, we go by them plantations, and I mean there is a ton of plantations, and somebody's got to manage it. And I never thought that there was people out there, managing that for quail and stuff. I always thought a lot of that stuff was just raised in a pen. They go put them out there, which I'm sure
So
some
there's
of
a
them get out too.
yeah, there is a pretty good program. I'm not uh, very experienced with it. I'm a little bit experienced with it, but I have friends that trap a lot for these quail plantations, and there's a pretty good program out there for bringing back the bobwhites in the state of South Carolina and other states as well. And they are somewhat pen raised, but they're brought in young and turned
Mm.
out, monitored. A lot of trapping right there at the beginning, and just a lot of management. Trapping is not a one-time fix. It's kind of like painting your fence.
Mm.
The sun wears on it, etc. You have to get out there and paint it again. It gets faded. So trapping is the same way. It's not a one-time fix. It's not a I'm going to call a trapper and pay him whatever X amount of dollars, and he's going to catch everything, and I'm never going to have an issue. That's not the case. It's a management program, just like you feed deer, just like you plant food plots, just like you harvest your doe, you keep your ratios the same. Everything is a management process, and trapping is no different. It's something that has to be done yearly, and maybe even a couple times a year, depending on the amount of predators that are in your area.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, if I wanted to go get started managing on my deer lease or something like that, what would be the first thing I need? Any kind of license? Not
So,
not not commercial. I'm not wanting to sell anything. So let's start with the non-commercial type.
you can trap with a hunting license. Um, and you can also you would need to enter your property into, you would draw a permit up from SCDNR
Hmm.
to trap on your property. Um, Everything would have to be dispatched on site. I would recommend, uh, maybe doing a ride along with some people that trap, or some phone conversations, etc. Looking at some YouTube. YouTube is very helpful. It's not boots on the ground, but it's very helpful when you do put boots on the ground to have a little bit of a video, that you've watched before you started. So my recommendation would be to start with the dog-proof traps, which is a raccoon trap. They're easy. They work. Raccoons are relatively easy to catch. I don't want to say they're easy, but they're relatively easy to catch. My kids trap with us, and they run all of our coon traps. My 4-year old and my 8-year old little girl, they run all of our coon traps and stuff. That's a good start. But understand that buying dog proof traps, once you start catching, this is a very addictive hobby. It takes some time, but raccoon traps really hone in wanting to do this more, and you'll end up spending some more money, which is fine with me because I'd love to supply you with everything you need.
I mean, isn't that every hobby? It starts off
Oh yeah,
little. So,
yeah.
what would you think if you were just wanting to start out actually taking care of raccoons for turkeys? Uh, what price range you think would be a starting point for somebody that has absolutely nothing?
Well, you could come in for probably 150, 200 bucks and buy you a dozen dog proofs and some cables to tie them off the trees, or the legs on feeders. You can bait your dog proofs with cat food. I mean, the coons are already coming there because they're eating the corn. It's a feed there for them, so they're there. So you're just trying to get him to dabble in the cat food, and cat food works. It's cheap. You don't have to have all the finest of the trapping supplies to get started, but you'll soon find out that the things that you see other people have are a necessity to make life easier for you if you do continue trapping.
I got you, and I'm gonna pull up the website here in just a little bit, and then we can go over some of this stuff too. But once you start getting into raccoons, what would you say the next critter or predator that you would go after?
So, your dog proofs are going to cover everything from possum, coon, skunk,
Hmm.
which is going to take a lot of your nest raiders out. Now, armadillos are just as bad, and you're not going to catch them in a dog proof.
You
But the
know,
next, go ahead.
I've never seen an armadillo running around in the woods, but you go down the road now, and they're everywhere on the side of the road dead.
Oh yeah, and they're just as bad as anything else about predation on egg nest or nest of eggs. And a raccoon will actually kill a turkey on a nest if she does not get off. There's actually videos. They'll kill turkeys on the nest to get the eggs.
Really?
But the next step would be to get you some type of foot trap,
Hmm.
which is going to look a little bit something like this. And I use these pretty much every day. This is just a It's just a cold spring trap. A lot of people think that these are, traps of the movies, the big spikes, the big teeth, bone breaking, bone crushing, animals chewing on their feet. A lot of that is myths.
Hmm.
We I stated earlier there's a live market in South Carolina. I can't sell a coyote that's been caught in one of these if his feet are broke because he can't run.
That's true.
Nobody wants. So you know, the myth busting, I've done this a lot to myth bust for people, but
Hmm.
I'm going to show you that these don't break bones. like everybody thinks. Okay, this is a 2 coil. This is a 450 size trap, which is what a lot of live market people trap with.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. It's not that big a deal. It's simply a handcuff. It is not cut. It does not break. My fingers aren't broke. It doesn't even hurt. A lot of the, you know, a lot of the people think that these things are so horrible. So here's my hand. No marks, no blood blisters, no broke bones. Everything works. It's not what you think. I catch my dogs. I have a dog that rides me on the trap line sometimes. I catch my own dog. I catch my fingers. They don't do what people think they do.
So is this pretty much the system that everybody switched over to these kind of traps? Like,
Yes,
how would you know? Obviously, I know you ain't recommending going and sticking your hand in there and be like hey, look at me, look how doing something stupid like that. But how do you know? How would one? Because like you said, the ones that I always saw on the walls at that Cracker Barrel or whatever, it's the old teeth look like jaws.
yeah, those are actually illegal.
Really?
You can't even use those. Now there are some traps out there that are designed to dispatch the animal upon the catch. The 330 conibear, which is a body gripping trap, is commonly used for beavers. They have to be set in water and half submerged, but it is a dispatch trap. I would not recommend you go stick your hand in a 330 because there's a good possibility you're not going to like the outcome. But it is not, when somebody sets a 330 or any type of body gripping trap, they're not setting that trap to hold that animal. They're setting that trap so that when that animal goes through it, he's dispatched on the site. He's not sitting there at all. So there's this difference in traps. This coil spring trap that I showed you, I just stuck my hand in. That is a handcuff, is what it is.
So they got different kind of raccoon traps too, right? Like
Yes, sir.
the little round. I don't even know what they are, but I know they're
That's
round.
dog proof.
Okay.
That is the dog proof, and I'm sorry, I should have one in here,
That's
but
all
I
right.
don't. But that is a dog proof trap.
I know when I pull it up on the website, it will be on there, so we will be able to see it then.
And basically, what that is it's a cup, a piece of pipe, basically with a trigger down inside of it. The raccoon will stick his hand down inside of it to get the bait and set it off. And the whole name of the dog proof is because it is a pull. You have to reach in there and pull the trigger, so a dog cannot get his foot in there. Number one, number two, he's not gonna stick his foot in there because dogs don't
Right. They
feed
care.
themselves like they do like a raccoon. That's right.
Right.
So
Yeah. So let me throw the website up over here, and we'll go through it at. All right. So we're at blackwatertrapping.com. So that here's the website. I already clicked into the baits and the lure because the first video I didn't want to play due to Facebook and YouTube Live, but you want to start with the bait and lures, or you want to go with traps first?
that's fine. We can start with these bait and lures. It doesn't matter.
All right. So what are these baits? And me looking at that right there, I see the logo. What's the cross in the middle for? I mean, I'm not. Chat. I'm not that stupid to know what the cross is. But why is there a cross there in the logo?
So that cross is in the center of that logo. Number one, for a conversation piece. That opens the door for me to be able to tell people what Jesus Christ has done for me
Right.
and my family. So that cross is the center of my life, just like it's the center of that logo. Everything that has ever happened in any of these businesses that we have right here, whether it be our Edisto River trapping business or the Blackwater supply business, has all been laid in our laps, and we've been blessed. There's not a lot of people that have made something like this work enough to support a family with kids. But the good Lord blesses us every single day, and He has not let us down yet. So the logo with the cross is a door opener for me to be able to tell somebody about Christ.
That's pretty good.
As far as the your baits you're looking at there, the one bait in the top left corner is our bait. We do make that bait. It is a predator bait, so it'll be good for your coyotes and stuff. There are baits specific to certain animals. There next to it is a beaver lure, which is got a lot of castor in it. Castor is in a beaver is what they use to mark territory. A lot of people don't know, but castor is actually also in cologne and a lot of other things, and has been for years.
That's pretty cool. So how do you keep the bait for in the beaver from coming off in the water?
So
Is it that thick?
so the most of the beaver lure is pretty thick and pasty, and you
Mm-hmm.
smear it. You may put it on a what is called a castor mound type setup. So a beaver will pull mud and make a mound, looks like a big anthill full of mud and debris on the bank, and they'll trying to think of the best way to put this, but they'll squirt castor, if I do say it that way, on that mound, and that marks territory, just like a dog peeing on a bush, or
Right.
like for deer hunters, just like a deer making a scrape and
Mm-hmm.
peeing in it during the mating season. This it all goes hand in hand.
Mike commented. He's trying to crack a joke in the comments, and it's kind of like one of them. He's baiting me into asking the question, "What's a coon's favorite rap song?" So I know there's a 30-second delay in between me asking questions. So I asked it, Mike. I'm sure. I'm sure that the song is gonna. He'll tell it in a minute.
It's called the honey bun.
The honey bun. I catch a lot of raccoons with honey buns myself.
So do I.
So, what's some of these other ones here?
So the Cavin's all the way to the right hand side. The Cavin's yodel dog is a gland. It comes from glands out of coyotes, and it's merely a mating season type lure. It is a let's see, kind of like it has the musk of a coyote. It's the glands from a coyote, so it shows the territory, but it shows other things as well. So it works really well during our cold months when we are moving into from dispersal of pups into mating season and denning season. That works out pretty good.
So, what she's probably saying is you want to put some gloves on when you're putting that on because it probably stinks.
It's not as bad as what you think, but it stays for a while.
Really?
It's pretty musky, but it's not something you can't wash off. But it does kind of stick around for a little bit. And then everything else you see on there is pretty much the same lines as what we make ourselves. It's just
Mm-hmm.
other baits. That black bottle of Dirty Dog is a lure that we make. It's a squirtable lure. It is an exciter, so it draws a lot of curiosity from coyotes and stuff. And I use that in conjunction with our bait. Um, we also have some fox urine. And those bones that you see right there, those are nylon 3D printed bones.
And I know you had a bunch of these at the show. So, what are these used for? Like, why would you want a bone?
So, uh, coyotes, just like your dogs, are attracted to things that stand out. And a bone is a bone stands out, whether you use that blue one or that white one. There's a lot of story behind the blues, and we can do that. But just merely
Mm-hmm.
to talk about the bone, I use those bones. We trap a lot of roads around fields, corn fields, soybean fields. If you have a lot of trails coming out in a field, you can take that bone and put it in the road, and you basically drive the point end down into the ground, and you leave that knuckle sticking up. And what that does, number one, is it gives you a place to put your bait. That hole that you see, hold, you can put your bait in there.
Kind of like bone
So
marrow.
that's right. So it helps get your bait, it gives your bait a place to go to keep it out of the weather, but it also gives a visual. So a coyote is a skittish animal. They're naturally skittish. They're going to work anything they work from the downwind side. But that bone sticking up in a road will pique their attention enough, whether they come in from downwind to that bone to start with. If they come in from the upwind side and cross the road, they see that. They'll actually work downwind to that and work back up to it because they're curious of what it is to start with. At
That's
that
pretty
point,
cool.
the bait that's in there does the rest.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting right there because I saw them at the show and I was wondering what that was for. So, are traps kind of like Ford, Chevrolet? People like certain brands, or is there one type of
Yeah.
brand? I
No, it's the Ford Chevrolet basically. So
I figured it probably would.
yeah. Um, Starting from left, going to the right. The first two traps there are the MB, which is the Minnesota brand traps. That second trap is the trap I just stuck my hand in. The two traps down from that are Duke traps. They're very comparable to the first two. The difference you can see visually is the difference in the pan, which is in the center. The MB has a round pan, the Duke has a square pan. Um, they're both the same size traps. They both do the same thing. They're just a different name brand.
So, do you have to pre-treat these? I mean, are they ready to go, or what kind of maintenance is on these things? Because I'm sure anything you put out in Mother Nature, it just doesn't stay like it was brand new.
Yeah. So they come covered in grease,
Mm-hmm.
and basically all that is something to keep them from rusting while they're sitting on the shelf at the facility that you bought them from, and then until they get to you. Once they get to you, um, there's a couple different ways you can go about removing that, which you need to do realistically. Um, I'm not going to say you absolutely have to, but it's a good idea to go ahead and remove it and treat your trap with the proper trap prep and all. So we sell a product called Battleborn, and it is basically a powdered degreaser, and it will clean that trap. You can also use muriatic acid soak, 50/50 white vinegar and water. And basically, you just soak these traps for a couple days. Um, It'll get this nasty looking rusty film on top of the water. Dump them out, rinse them off, and then you need to let them sit out until they get just a little bit of surface rust on them.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason you do that is because you want whatever your method of dye, which is, if you look at this one, this is a dyed trap. It's black.
Here, let me make you bigger again.
This is a
There you
coating.
go.
This is called ambush. It's a
Mm-hmm.
dip. Um, that dip colors the trap, and I'll go into explaining why that's important in a minute. But it colors the trap, it coats it, and it also seals it. It's a wax color coat all in one. And what that does is it keeps your trap working, so it doesn't rust up. In other words, when you put
Mm-hmm.
it in the ground. Number two, when you dye the trap, if you do get a rain or something, and some of the dirt gets washed off of your trap, if it's shiny, every crow and raccoon in the world is going to come by and dig your trap up. So the method of dyeing them helps tremendously with that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I
Um,
throw.
After you do all that, the
Mm-hmm.
next thing you need to do is pick what style of anchor you want to use. I use a super stake earth anchor. This is, I'll be honest with you, most people trapping are using a super stake earth anchor. Um, they work really well. You put them on a rod, drive them in the ground, and then when you pull this chain, it flattens out. Let me see if I can get that. There you go.
Yeah, I see it. Kind of like the things we put in sheetrock.
That's right. That's right. So basically, it goes in the ground like a toggle ball,
Mm-hmm.
and you cannot pull that thing out the ground. So that is a good anchor method. They also make what they call a wolf fang anchor. It's a flat style anchor. Has a point on it. It's a different style anchor is all it is.
How far you have to typically on average? How far are you putting it down in the ground?
So it differs between dirt.
Mm.
If you're in sand land, I would drive it down, the 16 inches that you can drive it. If you're in clay, 12 inches is a plenty. There ain't nothing pulling it out of 12 inches drove into clay.
You know,
Um,
people don't know it too much, but it's almost the same principle that you did. The guide wires on the telephone pole, they drill them things in, and I've
mhm.
seen bulldozers hook up to them guidelines, and I'm talking about a big old bulldozer, don't even budge it.
Yeah. The, the anchor that you choose is one of the most important things that you can do as a trapper because let me tell you what happens. If you put some janky style secure system on here and a coyote gets in this and he breaks this loose and
Mm-hmm.
he's running around with this on his foot, number one, at some point, yes, this will cause damage. Okay. If I put a rubber band on your finger and leave it on there long enough, eventually you're going to have damage. Number two, everybody that sees this trap on said coyote's foot, okay, it all of a sudden categorizes every trapper into a trapper that does not take care of their animals, not anchor their traps well. Everybody's horrible, and that's just not the way it is.
Right. Puts a black eye on everybody.
That's right.
Yeah, that makes sense. And the anchor system, I'm assuming, probably doesn't come with it. It would be a separate cost.
It is. It is a separate cost, and the reason it is because everybody wants. A lot of people want different things. So the people that design these traps, they design the trap with the chain and the swivels, and you choose what type of anchor system you want to attach to your trap. It does not matter to them.
If I maintain my trap every year, how long would that one last me? Like how many years on average?
Um, so there's a saying, buy once, cry once, right?
Yep.
So if you buy good quality equipment, and I'm not going to go into throwing names out, but if you buy good quality equipment, traps will last you a lifetime. If you treat them good, and look, even if they get rust on them, the rust will come off.
Mm.
Uh, you know, buy once, cry once. Get good equipment. Uh, that 450 trap that I just showed you is one of your higher end traps, and a lot of people use it in the state of South Carolina, the state of North Carolina, Georgia, because we have a live market, and that is just an overall fantastic trap for a live market trapper.
That's pretty interesting. I'm definitely learning a lot tonight, and I hope a lot of people also learning. So I'm assuming that right there is the dog one, the dog
Yes, sir.
proof one.
Yes, sir. That is the Duke Dog Proof. There are other name brands,
Mm-hmm.
but they're all basically the same. And then you have the cage traps, and I'm
Right.
sure a lot of people have seen cage traps.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you've seen one, they're all pretty much the same. Again, there's that buy once, cry once. There are better ones, but they look similar.
I could speak from experience on now. Putting the honey bun under the thing is the way to get them, because them jokers are smart. They
Oh
will
yeah.
reach through the trap and not go in there to get that honey bun out, or flip it
So
over.
yeah,
And it,
yeah, you're fixing to see something on. I can't remember. I think it's on the Trap Hardware and Accessories page.
all right, we can skip to it.
Right there on top of that dog proof to the right, that glowing egg.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a Chernobyl raccoon egg. You those
So
things are used in cage traps, and they're used on those dog proof traps.
so is it the real? Is it glass? Is it the green glass stuff?
No,
Okay.
it is very, very hard polymer.
Mm-hmm.
Um it there's countless hours of these things that have been out. I didn't make them, but we do sell them. We're his
Mm-hmm.
Southeast dealer, and we sell them because they're a good product. They have a they have basically a hole in the bottom of it, and you can put lure down in that hole and throw that in a cage trap, or you can sit it on that dog proof. And what it does is every day in the sunlight, it charges back up and it glows all night. So a raccoon can't see light or can't see colors, but they can see light, and they're very let's see, they're very attracted to shiny things.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, the when I say back in the day, way back in the day, a lot of people that trapped for the fur market used to trap raccoons by wrapping aluminum foil around the pan on traps, and the raccoon would try to get that aluminum foil and get his foot caught.
Really?
So they're attracted to shiny things. They're very curious.
Mm. Well, since we're on this page, you want to talk about anything else on this one? I'm assuming that that's the spike uh, anchor system right there.
Yes, sir, it is. And the J hook right there looks like something you would hang a ceiling fan from or something. That is how you attach that chain to the trap.
I got you.
Uh,
I could see where you were talking about the, cry once kind of deal. Get it, go ahead, buy the good stuff, because that that's by a dozen there for the anchor systems.
that's right.
If you got a dozen of them and a dozen, but that's going to last you a while. I mean, a
Oh, yeah.
typical person probably ain't setting a dozen traps either. A normal person.
No, a lot of people buy a couple traps
Mm-hmm.
and then they get, they catch a few things and then they buy a couple more and they may buy a couple more. People that trap for our commercial season.
Mm-hmm.
They may have, five, six, 7 dozen traps, um, trapping just that 3 month period. Uh, I have a lot. And there's people that have way more than me. I probably running 15 to 20 dozen just in those foot traps that I stuck my hand in, not counting everything else that I got.
Wow. I mean, that's
But
almost
again,
like the duck hunters with decoys.
yeah, yeah, it is. I used to be a very avid duck hunter,
Oh
and I
man.
quit duck. I quit duck hunting to trap. And trapping it's more addicted than duck hunting to me.
Well, I mean, we live in a non-duck hunting state, so I mean, you
Yeah,
got you got a pretty
yeah,
good chances of.
all three of those wood ducks, that everybody's after at the boat ramp. I do love it. Like I say, duck hunting was awesome. I don't hate on it. I just uh, I just enjoy trapping more. My kids, I got a 4 year old little boy and an 8 year old girl. And me and them and my wife, we all trap. My wife traps. My kids catch their own raccoons. We can sell live raccoons in the state of South Carolina. So my kids set their own traps and sell raccoons to coon hunters, to
Mm.
train puppies and all kind of stuff. So the kids get in and they love it.
I know. I got a buddy that would take pretty much every raccoon you give him, and he makes barbecue and loves it. I mean, he loves it.
Yeah, raccoon's good to eat.
I can officially say I've never tried it. So we did the traps and hardware. Let's look up under the tools here. So what you got to point out on tools?
So, some of the things you would need to get started as far as the coil spring traps, not the dog proofs, you're going to need some type of sifter to sift dirt over your over your trap. It just keeps the dirt fine. You don't want big rocks in there because when the jaws go closed, believe it or not, if you leave one rock in there, it seems like every time I do it, that rock will land between the jaws and hold them open. Um, which will result in the game that stepped in the trap being gone down the road when I get there. You need some type of hammer, and that driver right there above it, that long rod right above that hammer, that is the rod that you use to drive that bullet style anchor into the ground. Um, you just slide it on the end of it and drive it in with a hammer, and then you pull the rod back out.
I got you.
Let's see. So that auger to the left of the hammer, I'm sure a lot of people wonder what that's for. I use that auger. A lot of people use it to dig dirt holes. So a dirt hole set is just a different type of set when you're putting your trap in. You can make it look like something's dug. You can dig, use that to dig a hole, and then take your hammer and dig out around that hole so it looks like a mouse hole. All kind of stuff. Possibilities are endless, but that's just an auger that is used to dig in the dirt. You hook it on a drill.
I was fixing to ask, does it go on a drill?
It does. We have modernized a little bit, and it's when you're running a lot of traps, it makes it a whole lot faster.
I would imagine so.
Um, so right above your mouse, right there, that little U-shaped piece of metal, that is a setting tool along with those pair of things to the left, right there. The one that you're on right now is used. It makes it easier for your kids to set those dog proofs. They can stick that in there and press it down. It just gives them a little bit of leverage.
Leverage.
That's right. And then the ones to the left are used for the coil spring traps, and it's again just another piece of leverage that sticks up that you can push those levers down with your hands.
That makes sense. So what's this little stinker skunk pole?
Okay, so I'm assuming that you don't know this since you have already told me you don't know much about trapping and that you haven't dabbled in this. So last year, skunk pelts averaged $80 a piece at the sale, which is the highest they have been in a long time. So what your mouse is on right there is a dispatch.
Oh, I wonder if it's. I bet
So,
somebody must have called you, huh?
yeah, somebody's calling me about wanting some stuff.
I knew as soon as the screen went black, I said somebody called him.
Yeah, we have no store hours, and everybody knows it. But basically, that is a needle. It's just like somebody would get a shot. Basically, it's a shot. You can take and stick it into the skunk. It's actually on a long. If you click on it, you'll see the other attachments to it. But it's on a long pole that you can put together. Well, I guess there it is. Hold on, let's see. No. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Anyways, it goes on a long pole, and you can reach out, and what you do is you put it in the lung of the skunk, and it dispatches the skunk, and he does not spray. So if you've never been sprayed by skunk essence, if you ever get sprayed by a skunk, you'll know why you need a long pole.
So
It's not pleasant.
you saying that I did not know until this year when I went to the. It was in Florence. It was the Florence show. I can't even remember what it was. But there was a company there that had a skunk, and they done took all the smell stuff out. But
That's
that
right.
woman was telling me and I didn't know it to then, that they could spray up to 3 times. I always thought once and done kind of deal. I did not know 3 times.
Yeah. So they can, and it's not something you want on you. It does not come off very easy. Water does not take it off. Uh, so, and the whole idea with this is you don't want the skunk to spray. You may be doing an ADC job where you got a skunk in somebody's crawl space and you catch him in a trap. You don't want him to spray. You can actually go in there, whether you catch him in a trap or if you just go in there and see him in the corner, you can go in there with this and give him the shot from a distance of 6, 7, 8 foot, and it'll take that skunk out quickly and he won't spray. Because the last thing you want is a skunk to spray in your crawl space. It'll stay there for a while.
Right, and I know somebody that's dealing with some skunks in the crawl space, and this is on like a 100-acre farm, and where these jokers are bedding in the woods, it literally smells like when you're going down the road. I mean, it is horrendous. I mean,
Yeah.
they just stink.
Yeah. So
What's making them bring so much money? Like, what's people doing with a skunk?
so people take the furs and they make coats and little neck garters, and there's also people that make earrings with furs and all kind of stuff.
Really?
So one of the reasons why the fur market went down is because a lot of our furs are being sourced from overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so seeing the fur market come back last year, as far as the skunk, went, was nice to see a few things starting to bring some money, because not every state has a live market. A lot of people up north, there is no live market, so they're selling furs. They're selling the meat off of certain animals, whether it be beavers or bobcats. They sell glands, bones, all kind of stuff to make a little money if they're a commercial trapper. Not everybody has a live market, so to see fur coming back, it helps a lot of people.
You think any of the tariff stuff is any of that important stuff affecting the fur market?
It's affecting a lot. It has affected certain traps that are made from overseas steel
Mm-hmm.
and made overseas. It has made those go up a lot. Um, but that's what it was. That's what it was designed to do,
Right.
realistically, to make USA made stuff uh, be comparable with stuff that's made overseas.
Yeah. I mean, I personally agree. It does hurt our wallets, but it is great to see stuff made in America.
Well, you got to support each other. That's what we're
Mm-hmm.
here for. Support each
That's
other.
right. And that's why I wanted you to come on, because I never knew this existed in South Carolina. And I mean, if it's got wings, I'm usually hunting it. Turkeys, dove, uh, ducks, geese. I mean, I'm out in the woods, and I didn't even know half this existed in South Carolina.
Yeah.
So I saw that on y'all's channel, y'all had some Vice videos, and I know there's some YouTube videos on this, but you could talk about these Vice, because I thought it was pretty interesting. The video on the main site is literally using this Vice on a coyote.
That's right. We make these here at my house. Me and my wife make them. It's an aluminum catch device. It was really made for a live market trapper. Most of your catch poles is a cable
Mm-hmm.
pole. Basically, you'll pull one end of the cable. It's got a loop on the other end.
What you
Um,
normally typically see, like local, I won't say
animal
DNR, but
control.
animal control would normally
Right.
come out with a pole with the cable. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm actually working on getting some of these in the hands of some of our animal control as well. But the pros of this is it does not choke the animal. It does not pinch or choke the animal. You simply open it up, just like you would if you were grabbing a hamburger off the grill, and close it. It's got a locking mechanism on one end of it, and when you close it, the jaws go together at the end, and it's just basically another handcuff method of holding them. And they don't fight it because it doesn't choke them. It's just a fantastic tool that a lot of people have started using.
That's pretty interesting. And like I said, later on, if y'all want to go check it out, you can go to blackwatertrapping.com and see that video. And obviously, you know, the contact part of the website here. So how can people get in contact with you, and where can they find other videos?
So, of course, you can go right here to contact us. My number is also on there, my cell number. Call me anytime. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, and we're going to roll out a YouTube page here in just a couple weeks. And we're going to start it off with trap prep. We're going to start it off with loading supplies to go trapping. And then we're going to move right into setting some traps and catching some critters and talk about why it's important, while we're doing all that.
That's pretty interesting. Like I said, you know, I think that's a great opportunity for South Carolina. And when I met you down there and found out, you know, that y'all started a company in South Carolina, I mean, I go to a lot of shows in South Carolina, and if I didn't know about it, there's probably an opportunity a lot of other people didn't know about it.
Well, that's what we're trying to do is get our name out. I have not been much of a social media person,
Mm-hmm.
but I've had to become that because social media is the way of getting out nowadays. So um, I've had a lot of typos in my
Hey,
time of get out that my wife has had to correct.
Chat
But
GBT, baby, Chat
there you go.
GBT.
But it has helped us get our name out. It's helped us keep in communication with people, and I tell people all the time, anytime you got a question, whether you want to buy something or not, if you just want to call and talk, I'm ears. I'd be willing to talk with you about it, and just hit me up.
That's pretty cool because, like I said, I come in here, I've learned a lot tonight, which probably has opened up more questions, and I'm sure people watching tonight. And like I said, this is going to be a video that will be played for other people to watch later on too. I'm sure it's going to get extra questions. So I
Oh yeah.
appreciate you coming on. I know you said this was your first live, and you know, I ain't got the prettiest face for YouTube, but I could say I got the prettiest one in the room. That's all I got to say.
Well, I guess I got that going on myself.
Hey, we all making a difference slowly, and making our own little mark on YouTube. I started YouTube, I don't know, 3 years ago, and started these lives. And man, I'm telling you, the people that I've met, the friends that I've met, the people that come on Wednesdays, man, I love it. Like I've had a great time, and learning a lot.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep.
at the very beginning, I know you said you have a company also trapping, and like, do you go to people's houses and stuff? And
I do. And just for picture's sake, if anybody sees anything, I do. This is our business card right here. I do nuisance wildlife work. I trap at people's houses. I also trap on big acreage. Um, I do a lot of predation trapping. So pretty much anything you need trapping wise for about anything out there that is a nuisance, I do it from armadillos, squirrels, coyotes, all the way through. So, um, and that's one reason that's, we went with the supply store. I was constantly needing supplies and having to order everything. So it's hand in hand here. It helps, having the supply store helps us as well because we have to buy stuff. So we might as well buy it from ourselves.
do y'all have a physical like store? I mean, or y'all just running out your house? Can people like, hey, meet up? Hey, I'm local. kind of deal, or is it mostly just on the website?
No, we do not have a storefront, but we have the supplies here in our shop, and we have people come out. I had 2 or 3 people come out today and pick some supplies up this evening. Um, be more than happy to see anybody come out. We can sit down and talk, pick up whatever supplies you need, or just sit down and talk if that's all you want to do. And then we also do online website. We'll ship anything you need to you. So just let us know.
Y'all ship most states. Is there any kind of weird states that don't allow
No,
shipping, or?
we have not found one yet that is not allowed shipping. We have shipped to so we just started this store. Let's see, probably 7 8 months ago.
Uh-huh.
And in 7 or 8 months now, we have shipped to probably 18 or 20 of the states.
That's pretty cool.
So,
That's pretty cool. I'm glad for you, man. This one of the reasons I wanted, spotlighting YouTube in South Carolina. We are not a big duck hunting state. Nobody says, "Hey, I want to go hunt in South Carolina duck hunting." Deer population, we do get a lot of people that come deer hunt. The turkey population in South Carolina ain't that great. So one of the main goals for my YouTube channel was to make things shine for South Carolina. We got a lot of great hunters. We got a lot of great events. We got a lot of great stuff in South Carolina. And just like having you on tonight, that's what the channel is all about. Spreading the word. Hey, South Carolina does have a lot of opportunities. We just need to make them shine.
that's right.
Maybe we just need a little green neon glowing egg to make us shine.
Hey, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about tonight?
No, I mean, I'm good. Unless you got some questions.
I mean, I've asked a lot. No, I don't think I have any on any questions at the moment. I definitely learned a lot tonight. That's for sure.
Well,
I definitely thinking that maybe, since honey buns, when I was trapping raccoons for honey buns, my wife didn't like buying honey buns because every time I got a honey bun out, I had to eat some of the honey bun.
of course.
I mean, that's what I said. I'm like, well, I take a half a bite, and then another bite. She's like, I thought I bought them for the raccoons, and I'm like, well, I gotta taste it to make sure it's good. So she quit buying the honey bun. So I might have to get me one of them golden eggs to try it, because man, I definitely got a raccoon problem around my property too. And like you said, I personally, where I live, occasionally we may see a turkey, but our quail, I know that they're after the quail. So the bob whites are definitely a beautiful bird, and I know raccoons are a big predator to a lot of birds.
Oh yeah. Now, raccoons are number one nest predators.
Well, now you got me something to do. I'm going to start getting on them.
Well, let me know what supplies you need.
All right. So I'm gonna throw it out there again. Blackwatertrapping.com. Y'all get in touch with Preston there. So before the camera changes, hey, I do have a new shirt design out. My logo with my boykin on there. So about like you, I was going the wrong way with the camera. So there, I do have a new shirt design. There's a sticker out there on the website. So if anybody's looking for stickers for RD Reynolds Outdoors, y'all can check out the new shirt. But hey, man, I appreciate you coming on. We're gonna stay in touch. Like he said, trapping season's coming up. You said December. What was it? December the 1st to
March the 1st is our commercial trapping season.
There you go. So you got a month to get your stuff. like he said, give him a call. He'll be sure to answer some of your questions. Might not answer all of them, but I'm pretty sure in this little conversation, he probably has an answer.
That's right.
And y'all be careful out there for Halloween. Sadly, both of us did not have a mask on tonight. It's just, the face only our mothers would love. So y'all be safe out there for Halloween. It's just candy. Ain't no use to be driving around neighborhoods crazy. Be safe with the kids. And so y'all have a safe Halloween, because I want y'all back on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock. So Preston, I appreciate you coming on. And y'all get in touch with Preston about all your trapping stuff. Spread the word. We have a place now in South Carolina that has the supplies, baits, traps, all in stock. So there you go.
I appreciate it, bud. Thank you.
All right, well, y'all know how it is, and I'll see y'all next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And here's a word from my sponsors. I'll see y'all. Matthew Knight with Satura Investors out of Charlotte. There's the information. The link to his website is scrolling across the banner down at the bottom, and it's also in the description. Today's episode is about helping business owners and working professionals like you who share a passion for the outdoors shooting sports, zeroing them in to their long-term financial goals. So if you need any information or contact or any other questions, contact Matthew. Also, go check out Salt Creek Ammo. This triple curl TSS is some of the best TSS I have ever shot. This is for waterfowl edition. It's made full waterfowl. So if you're going to shoot a species that you've been chasing for a long time, don't use no cheap ammo. You pay good money to go on a trip. You got great guns. Don't cheap out on cheap ammunition. This TSS is amazing. It's got number 7s, number 8s, and he has number 9s. So go check out saltcreekammo.com. Here you will find any kind of ammo you're looking for. He has custom loads, TSS in 10 gauge, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, low pressure ammunition. You got predator ammunition, turkey ammunition, anything you're looking for, give Keith a call. Also to the channel, Kicks Industries, most people will know them as Kick Chokes, has came on board, and I have done a bunch of series lately on waterfowl choke tubes, turkey choke tubes, deer choke tubes. So go check out Kick's website for all of the chokes that can fit your guns. Flint Ridge Hauling Service LLC has partnered up with the channel. It is your go-to provider for all your hauling needs. They are not just any hauling service. They are an active DOT interstate hotshot hauling provider. Flint Ridge Service LLC prides itself in the reliable transportation services. This team ensures that your cargo is delivered safely and on time no matter the distance. Whether you need to transport goods across the county or state line, they have the capacity and the expertise to meet your hauling needs. Equipped with a smooth riding 40-foot air ride equipped trailer and a max hauling capacity of 20,000 pounds, there's no load too big or too small that they can't handle. Look no